Welcome back to our Sekiro 100% walkthrough. In the previous episode we did a lot of farming for Sen and items, and in this episode we're going to be defeating all of the Headless. My name is Azzavhar or Azza. Now let's get into the video. So following on from the previous video, just want to show you the Sen and stuff that we got from the farms. So we are at 6 skill points and almost 40,000 Sen. We still have the Demon's Bell on, which we shall take off in just a second. And I used quite a lot of the balloons. We still got a few of the possession balloons left and a few of the wealth balloons left. We'll take those off for now, and then we'll also dispel the Demon Bell burden. And because we're going to fight the Headless, we're going to need quite a lot of divine confetti. So what a good idea to do is spend all of our Sen and our skill points before we fight the Headless, because obviously if we die we'll lose half of our Sen and half of our skill points, which is not ideal. And with the Headless there's quite a high chance of us taking a death, so we'll go and spend the Sen and stuff first. I'm gonna grab this Phantom Kunai item here from the offering box. Let's buy some divine confetti, see how much we got. We have 2, so we're going to need a lot more than that. So let's buy maybe 20 or something. But that should do for now. We may be able to get some upgrades for the prosthetic tool, so let's check that out. So like I say, yeah, we want to be blasting through all of our Sen really before going into these fights. So these upgrades on the right, we'll need this lapis lazuli. So just keep that in mind when you are upgrading the stuff on this side here. We shall go for upgrade some of that. That needs some more scrap iron. So you may find that you have to kind of like jump back over to that merchant just outside. So I believe you sell scrap iron. We just need a few more to upgrade that. In fact, he does, because I think we bought some in the previous episode. He sells infinite scrap iron, and we also get a discount because we picked up that merchant note in the previous episode as well, so feel free to bag some of that. You'll also find that the other merchants kind of scattered around Ashina will sell some upgrade items as well. So feel free to check out the other merchants if you're looking for other upgrade materials and things like that. So let's grab that one. That's the one with the Phantom Kunai there, as well as some other upgrade materials. I'm going to bag some random stuff for now. That should be fine. I did mention it on the previous episode, but the main ones that you want to be looking for really there is definitely go for the Malcontent and the Suzaku's Lotus Umbrella, because we're going to be using the Malcontent and the Suzaku Umbrella very, very soon, perhaps in the next episode. Just keep that in mind. We've still got loads of Sen, 16,000 left, so we're kind of Sen overload at the minute. We really need to get rid of that. What we'll also do, we've got 6 skill points, so these ones are quite good, and this Sculptor's Karma up here as well for the extra spirit emblems. So let's get those. Make sure you've got those 2 Sculptor's Karma ones up there. We'll need those for later. And you've also got Emma's medicine stuff down here, which increases the effect of healing items, which is always good, so just keep that in mind. Those ones down the bottom there. And on this temple arts, you've also got one that increases drop rates and things like that. So this one here says improves the amount of Sen obtained from enemies and improves item drop rate. So that's quite a good one to bag, especially for farming and stuff like that as well. So virtuous deed, just keep that one in mind. We still have a lot of Sen, so let's get rid of some of that. Might as well buy that. quite a lot of that already. Maybe some ungo sugar. Put some in storage. Put some... maybe a bit of scrap iron. Just need to blast through these really. I might just pop the rest on divine for now. So we've got 66 divine confetti, which means we can go pretty crazy with the divine, which is always good. You could also bag some extra spirit emblems as well if you want to do that. So the first headless, we shall go to Sheena Castle and this upper tower antechamber here. So the first one is at the back of Ashina Castle in the water. Let's do that one first of all. It's worth popping on the purple gourd. So a little bit of prep for the fights. We'll go for purple gourd. Quick items will also pop on divine. Maybe a sugar as well. I think because this one is underwater, there are some restrictions on what it will let us use underwater, but let's give it a blast. What I might do in preparation is pop at ungos first of all. And go for it. So swim on down. What we'll do for this one is just basically lock on and swim around. You could also use the purple gourd for resistance against the terror. We'll try and get in a swag of that. So essentially with this one, what the best thing to do is lock on, swim around, wait until you see one of those attacks like that, go in for like a couple of your attacks, and then swim back out again. Got a high amount of terror build up at the minute. I'm going to try and pop a purple gourd when it's safe. This one may take some time because it's a lot of the time it's about patience and just trying to wait for the right time to attack. Usually after he's done one of his attacks is a good time for us to go in for our attack. Just waiting for him to do that sword slice. Will do. So just pop in for like maybe like 1 or 2 hits. Keep on swimming around. Essentially you want to be trying to get in your attacks like at the end of one of his animations as such. There we go. So it takes a little while, and don't worry too much if you take a hit and stuff. As long as you've got your gourd equipped and you've got your purple gourd equipped, then just keep falling back, looking for a chance to pop the gourd and pop the purple gourd. Other than that, you should be fine. Just keep on swimming around and looking for those chances to attack. So here we get the Ungo's Spirit Fall, which is essentially the we can now use spirit emblems to cast the Ungo Sugar. It's got the same effect as the Ungo Sugar. That is Headless number 1. We've got a few items that we can pick up from the water as well. I think there was some carp in the water, so might be able to kind of reset the area and then grab the carp as well. So if you're looking for some carp scales, it's... Oh, maybe it's just the aggressive carp, actually, those two just there. So other than that, we're going to return back to the idol and then move on to the next headless. So the next one we will do is... we'll do the one that's quite near the demon bell. So let's travel to Senpou Temple and Bell Demon's Temple. There's two ways to approach this headless. This is the closest idol that we did unlock. But there is another way to approach it, which is kind of from just past where you fought the chained ogre. We're going to approach it from this way here, through these doors. And this one is on land, so it's a bit trickier to fight. So with this one, ideally we want to kind of like get behind it and then walk around it, almost like a dance. It's kind of like you're dancing with the headless, as strange as that might sound. You kind of want to be behind him and then keep on sort of like walking around him. So when you're next to these headless, it will like not let you run. It only lets you walk at a very, very slow pace. So for this, we want to have on, maybe not the Tanto, but we could do with putting on the this one, the pacifying agent. So gourd, purple gourd, divine confetti. We've got 66 of those now, which is always good. Some ungo sugar, pacifying agent. So we might be using a fair amount of the purple gourd and the pacifying agent. Just keep that in mind. And we'll use some ungo sugar as well. First of all, we've got to find him. You want to be kind of behind him. You can also parry. Just try and get yourself behind, essentially, with this enemy. Also going to try and watch out if he appears behind you like that. He's going to be after you. We did parry that. Watch out for that attack. That is not ideal. That hurts a lot. So be very, very aware of that one. I'm going to back up, reapply the powders and the gourd. And get behind him again. The trickiest bit is getting actually behind him. You can also jump for a bit of extra space away from him. He's going to disappear. I'm going to try and grab us from behind as soon as he disappears, so keep that in mind. So I'm not locked on. That's the first one. So once you kind of get in the flow, it happens quite fast, but you've got to get behind him first. And it's just getting behind him that's the pain. I'm gonna reapply the stuff. Get behind him. He's going to go behind us. And then just try and kind of keep circling around him when you get behind him. There you go. And once you kind of get the flow, he dies quite fast. With the Akko's Spirit Fall there, which is very, very useful. Same effect as the Akko Sugar. So yeah, once you do get in the flow and once you kind of do get behind him, then he dies quite fast once you get attacking as such. But the pain is just actually getting in the right position in the first place to get the flow going. But once you do get the flow going, then it's usually all good to go. So that's the second one. The third one is quite similar, so I'm going to travel to Sunken Valley, and I believe it is... I think it's under Shrine Valley, if memory serves. It's quite early in this area, and we kind of just backtrack a little bit up a cliff. Yeah, that's the right one. So you want to be heading to this one here, the Sunken Valley, and the Under Shrine Valley. And then backtrack up here. Gonna grapple on up. Got some enemies up there, so just watch out for those. Let's give them the old 1-2. That's those. Head on up. And we did visit this area a bit earlier, but now we've got the ability to breathe underwater, so that's where the Headless is hiding. Just watch out here, because I think there's new enemies in this area. Oh yeah, it's those bad boys, so watch out for those. And essentially, we're just going to follow this underwater cave, swim up. And here we go, same again, so pop your sugars and your items and such, and it's pretty much the same fight. You just got to get back in the same place once again. Be prepared to parry if you need to, as you see the sword coming on in. Just trying to jump essentially to try and get behind him, and then just keep on spinning around. Watch out for that sword swing. Might get terror status here. It's also disappeared. He's going to come and try and grab us. Watch out for the old grab. We need to use purple gourd. And get behind. Going to try and grab us. Try and get behind. That's one. You need to reapply your stuff. Yeah, we're going to back up and reapply here, even though it just disappeared, so he's going to try and do the old grab. So reapply stuff. And that's that one. So Gokhan's Spirit Fall for that one. I think some items knocking about in this place as well, so scout it out for some extra items. And like I say with the Headless, once you kind of get in the flow and once you kind of get in the right position to attack and stuff, They do go down pretty easy, so just when you get the opportunity, just make sure to put the pressure on. And yeah, get the old death blows there. Next one, if memory serves, is in the Divine Realm. This one can be a bit of a spicy meatball because there's actually two of them at the same time, so it's a bit of a pain. We'll hold on to the skill points for now, maybe save up for Emma's medicine. That's fine, so let's travel, and Fountainhead Palace. Any of those really should be fine. We'll go to that one. This one is kind of similar to the first one that we fought, apart from there's two of them at the same time. So it's just kind of swimming around like we did before. Just looking for an opportunity to kind of get in and attack. Usually when the Headless is kind of finishing one of their attack animations is a good time for us to get in our attacks. Don't forget, you've got other items as well, such as Divine Grass. Got quite a few of those now, so feel free to pop a Divine Grass if needed. Things like that on these Headless fights if you want to. Although I think some of the water fights actually restrict what you can use underwater, so just keep that in mind for these specific water fights. So there's two. We got one. I'll try and show you, even though it's quite difficult. I'll get a better camera angle, just one sec. Okay, so you kind of got this safe zone. Just want to point out this safe zone over here. So this corner is where you would head to reapply items and stuff like that. So if you need to reapply anything, you want to be heading over to this corner where it's safe. Okay, and also don't be afraid to use the Homeward Idol. If you use all of your gourds or whatever, then definitely use Homeward Idol to sort of return back and try again. So I think if memory serves, I think it's this one that you want to be focusing on first. Try and get like roughly on the same kind of level, with the Headless itself. You already need to heal, so go to safe zone, the gourd, pop the purple one for resistance, or terror resistance. Now that's looking for that opportunity to attack. We're getting like one strike, maybe two if we're feeling spicy. Just keep on swimming around. I would say try not to be too greedy with your attacks. Usually one should be fine. If you want to play it ultra safe, just go for the one. Or two attacks if you're feeling extra spicy. But we are slowly but surely kind of chipping away here. You got a terror, that's fine. I'm going to back up and go to the safe zone. But unfortunately, that one, if you do get like a lot of terrors, a lot of those attacks at the same time, it's essentially insta-death. What we'll do, because we've got quite a lot of them, we actually can't use them underwater at this point. So what a safe idea would be to do at this point would be to Homeward Idol. And then give it another try, because we've only got one resurrection left at this point. but I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot anyway. That's the first one. Just that terror status that's the worst thing here. There we go. So we got the first one. And I believe it takes away the second one as well, if memory serves. Just double check. So I've got the Yashiriku Spirit Fall there as well. Yes, memory does serve. So essentially just grabbing one of those wins you the fight, and then that's GG. Make sure to bag this item here as well if you haven't got that already. So yeah, that's all of the Headless. And like we saw there, just be really careful about that the terror attacks, because obviously there's two of them attacking it at the same time. So if all of the terror stuff hit you at the same time, then it's pretty much GG, like we just saw there. But in my opinion, that's the kind of best way to go about that, and focus on this one that's closest to us. When we're in this kind of position here, that usually works quite well. Other than that, let's return back to the idol. That is all 4 of the Headless. And that's why I recommend spending like your Sen and skill points and stuff like that before going into any of the fights, because obviously specifically for that last one there as well, it's quite spicy with all the terror attacks happening at the same time. Other than that, I think we shall just finish up one of the... There is a quest I just want to point out at Hirata Estate that I don't think we've covered just yet on this walkthrough. So this quest line, this is the last bit of the quest line essentially. So in one of the previous episodes we covered the carp and the great carp in the divine realm. So just the final part of that divine realm carp quest is just over here. So essentially one of the pot nobles, this one here, has become a carp. So you can pick up an item from here, the lapis lazuli, and you can talk to the pot noble, now carp. And you can pick up any items here with the scales if you want to, like the mask fragment. So we've got two mask fragments here at this point, and the third fragment is at the merchant that's at the dungeon entrance, the Ashina Castle dungeon entrance. That is that. We also need to... The next fight is going to be a bit of a spicy meatball, so... Let's go unlock that. The next fight coming up is going to be the Demon of Hatred. This one is a bit of a spicy meatball, so to get the Demon of Hatred, just to show you where that is, it's the outskirts. And the closest one we have at the minute is the stairway, so let's go and get that. So let's go and bag the idol for the Demon of Hatred, which is in this direction here. Just head on over. There might be a few items kind of knocking about here and there as well in this area. I'm going to pop on firecrackers in case we need to use them. Don't worry too much about the enemies in this area. There's just a lot of them you can just skip through. Just going to bag some of the items that are knocking around. Be careful of all these ministry fighters here, because there's quite a lot of them. And at this point in the game, because obviously it's quite near the end of the game at this point, It likes to give you like a lot of upgrade materials, like loads and loads and loads of upgrade materials. There is a lot. And these particular enemies drop a lot of the upgrade materials as well. Bag all of those. Not sure if the merchant is still in his original position here. Just going to go and check it out. He is. Have a look what he's got for sale. Upgrade materials. Infinite divine confetti. Infinite ungo sugar. Okay, so other than that, let's go and get the idol. As you can see, things are quite bad here. There's lots and lots of fire. Fire's raging out of control. Just gonna go get the idol here. So as you can see, yeah, there's a lot of fire here. There's much fire. So just grab this idol here, pop a cheeky rest, and we'll visit this place very, very shortly. But for now, we shall wrap this episode up here. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, remember to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.